Aloha! Hello! Today I want to talk about the shift in consciousness and my understanding of it, to officially share what I know or what I think is quite important for me to tell currently and to point to. The shift in consciousness is a global movement that we engage, all individuals on this planet, and have been engaging for more than 100 years now, and it is about changing perspective, perception. Wow, you won't believe me, but this is actually the second take, as I didn't record the first take, so I'll just roll with it and be less stiff about this talk. So, what this shift really is, and what is allowing all this shifting in perception and to create our reality with more freedom and more creativity and more deliberately and with more awareness, is really the acceptance of self and of belief systems. And what this means is that we incorporate no more judgment of good and bad, of right and wrong, of all our actions or other aspects, things, individuals, or self, and anything that we may experience in our reality. And this is really what frees up our movement, our choices, what shows us that there are really no limits to any choice or any vision that we may manifest. Everything that we choose to create may be created with acceptance. And this is really a magical thing, or shall I say action, although I don't quite understand it, to be honest. The more I think about it, the less I understand it. Though what this also means, this shift in consciousness, to live through it, to experience it as us, is to remember, to hold the remembrance of us as essence, which is probably enough material to be incorporated for several other videos, but it really means that we are much more than a person. We are an individual, we are essence in physical focus, and we may, widen our perception, our awareness, our use of our energy and our flow to really any extent that we choose to. And we may create quite wondrous experiences, if not a whole life of wonder, if we really appreciate ourselves and pay attention, notice in the moment the flow that we are. Now, of course, this is a good word for every moment, now, but I wonder, what may I say otherwise? It's currently a big movement that we all engage, and there's a lot of energy really held in these belief systems. Not merely duplicity, which is the belief system of right and wrong, good and bad, and so on, but also of other belief systems that we, of course, inserted, invented, or created to really explain what we experience in reality. Not merely for communication purposes, but generally to hold an understanding of what it is that we create. And so there has been, as I said, a lot of energy invested into these belief systems, and this is actually what is so limiting. The energy that is already there, that is already placed in construct, that really builds all these walls around our identity and our perception around these states, and these limits in a way have been causing a lot of trauma, but they have also made reality very easy or simple or clear or separated as to not to confuse us of our greater identity, so to speak, which is of course not greater. It is not better or worse. But anyway, a lot of trauma has been experienced and might still be experienced in this coming century, and it is literally the responsibility of all of us to actually move through that, to move all this energy, to accept all beliefs, to really gain all this awareness of ourselves and our interconnectivity with all of our reality, to see how we may accept these attachments to our identity, to engage feelings with more awareness and be not dictated to by them, and to actually just be free, to be so completely creative that every moment screams, I am essence, or in my case, I am Sila, and in your case, it might be a very different tone, which is to be appreciated. Which leads me to my next point. It is about value. So far, we have engaged value mostly in most of these civilizations that I am aware of as a way of something that we measure, that we compare against a scale, a standard, or against something else. So we are, in a way, gauging importances. And when I speak of value now, I really mean we are of infinite value. Our very beingness, our very presence, our very existence in every moment, regardless of what we do, is of infinite value, and it may not be measured by anything really. So this is to be remembered, and this is what I really mean to remind myself and yourself of, that whenever we catch ourselves in a mindset or in a state, in a moment of perceiving lack or feeling not important, or perhaps feeling like a failure or a victim or a bad person, even a good person, it is all to be neutralized and appreciated and eventually accepted by the mere first step of recognizing I am valuable, regardless of any circumstance. And anything that I may create, I create upon this fundament of value, this base that I stand upon, which is currently, of course, the Earth. And that is not to say that the Earth isn't valuable, quite the contrary. So this may be enough for one video, and I will link below in the description to some sources of information which I have read, which I trust will be helpful to many others in their understanding, in your understanding of what it is that I'm speaking about, to have a comprehensive overview over belief systems, acceptance, and other perhaps useful concepts. And well, I bid you really much enjoyment and fun and pleasure in all of your moments. Aloha!